Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive on making money on YouTube.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, definitely. You guys shared this video with us. It's called Turn $0 into 6 figures a month by copying and pasting content.
Wow.
I know, right? Like,
That-
is that even possible? Can you really make that much money just by repurposing content?
It's a big claim, that's for sure.
Yeah, and of course it got us super curious.
Of course.
So the video creator is basically claiming that they have all these like secrets that big YouTubers use, and they show examples of people who are supposedly making a ton of money this way.
Right.
So we're gonna break it all down and see if it's legit or just a bunch of hype. What do you think?
I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So right off the bat, the video talks about trending content.
Okay.
Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, definitely. It's a popular strategy.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, right? Like, give the people what they want.
Exactly. It's all about capitalizing on what's already popular, what people are searching for right now.
But how do you even know what's trending?
Well, there are tools and websites that track trending topics.
Right.
Like Google Trends is a good one.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's super helpful.
So basically, you find a hot topic, you make a video about it, and bam, you're rich.
Well, not exactly. It's not that simple.
Right, of course not.
There's more to it than just jumping on a trend. You have to create content that actually stands out, that provides value to the viewer.
So it's not enough to just copy and paste. You have to add your own spin on it.
Exactly. You have to make it your own, give it your own unique voice.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you also have to consider the competition.
Oh, yeah, good point.
If everyone's making videos about the same trending topic, it's going to be tough to get noticed.
Right.
You have to find a way to differentiate yourself, to offer something unique that the others don't.
Like a unique perspective or a different angle on the topic.
Exactly. You have to give people a reason to watch your video instead of the hundreds of others out there.
Gotcha. So it's not as easy as it sounds.
Not at all. But it can be done.
So the video actually points to these faceless YouTube channels like Viral Now and Brightside as examples of people who are supposedly making a ton of money by doing this.
Right. Have you seen those channels?
I've definitely seen them pop up in my recommendations.
Yeah, they're all about volume and consistency. They pump out content like crazy, covering a wide range of trending topics.
And it seems to be working for them.
Yeah, they've definitely figured out something.
Yeah.
But their success also relies on attracting a huge viewership, which is no easy feat.
Right. It's easy to forget that there's probably a whole team of people behind those channels working hard to keep the content flowing.
Exactly. It's not just one person sitting in their basement churning out videos.
So it's not a solo effort.
Not usually, no.
Okay, that makes sense. Then, to really grab our attention, the video throws in the story about their neighbor, a YouTuber known as SS Sniper Wolf,
Oh yeah, I've heard of her.
who apparently makes over $1 million a month just reacting to TikTok videos.
Whoa.
I know, right? Like, is that even possible?
That number definitely makes you stop and think. It shows how much money can be made on YouTube.
Right, especially if you have a huge and dedicated following.
But let's be real. SS Snuckerwolf's success is not the norm.
For sure.
Most YouTubers don't reach those heights.
True, but the video seems to suggest that this level of success is within everyone's reach.
Right, that's the hook. They want you to believe that you can do it too.
So how exactly?
Well, this is where things get even more interesting.
Yeah, I'm listening.
The video suggests using AI tools, like NVIDIA AI, to make videos from existing content.
Like other YouTube videos or even news articles.
Exactly. And the crazy part is, they claim you don't have to film or edit anything yourself.
So you could literally pump out content without any editing skills whatsoever.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
It all sounds super quick and easy.
Almost too good to be true.
Right. Like, is that even possible? And if it is, wouldn't everyone be doing it?
Yeah, good question. But before we get too deep into that, I want to hear your take on the whole AI thing. What do you think about these AI content creation tools?
Well, they're definitely a game changer. There's no doubt about that.
In a good way or a bad way?
I think it depends on how they're used.
Okay, that's fair.
They can definitely make it easier for people to create content, especially if they don't have a lot of time, skills, or fancy equipment.
Right. So it could be a good thing for people who are just starting out or who don't have a lot of resources.
Exactly. It could level the playing field in a way.
But what about the quality? Wouldn't people notice if a video is AI generated?
That's a key question.
Have you seen any examples that actually work?
I have seen some pretty impressive examples. But, the quality can be hit or miss.
I see. So even if I could churn out videos quickly, they might not be good enough to actually attract viewers.
That's a risk.
And what about the whole copying and pasting aspect?
You mean copyright issues?
Yeah, exactly. The video doesn't really mention that. Could you get in trouble for using other people's content, even with AI?
That's a crucial point that the video glosses over.
Right, so we need to dig into that a bit more.
Definitely. Copyright laws are complex, and using someone else's work, even with AI modifications, could land you in hot water.
Okay, so the legal side of things is something to consider. So let's say we have these AI-generated videos. Legal issues aside, how do we actually make money from them?
Good question. The video mentions a few ways.
Like what?
YouTube ad revenue, affiliate links, selling digital products like online courses, and getting sponsorships.
Right. Is that realistic, though, or are they oversimplifying it?
I think they're definitely oversimplifying it.
How so?
Well, for starters, earning through ads requires tons of views and engagement.
Right.
And affiliate marketing needs a niche audience that's actually interested in the products you're promoting.
And creating your own digital products, like online courses, requires expertise and something people are willing to pay for.
Exactly. And sponsorships typically come when you already have a large and loyal following.
So you're saying there's a lot more to it than just pumping out videos and watching the money roll in.
A lot more.
The video also talks about scaling up to $5,000 per day.
Wow.
I know, right? By uploading multiple videos a day, using SS Sniper Wolf as the example.
Right, because she posts daily.
Yeah.
Right.
But is that sustainable even with AI's help?
That's a good question. And wouldn't that many videos flood the market, making it even harder to stand out? That's the thing. The emphasis on quantity over quality is a common theme in these get-rich-quick schemes.
Right. So while consistency is important, you also need to create content that people actually want to watch.
Exactly. You have to find that balance.
And if everyone's using the same tactics and chasing the same trends, the competition is going to be fierce.
For sure. It's like a race to the bottom.
Okay, so this is all very interesting, but I'm starting to get a little skeptical.
I hear you. There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's time to get your expert take on the bigger picture. What are we missing? What's the reality check here?
Okay, well, first of all, is this method really as simple and lucrative as it sounds?
Right, because the video makes it seem like a piece of cake.
The video definitely highlights the potential earnings, but glosses over the effort, strategy, and often luck involved in building a successful YouTube channel.
Even with AI assistance.
Even with AI assistance.
Okay. But the video shows all these examples of people who are supposedly making bank using this method.
Right. But are those the norm or the exception?
You're saying they're exceptions.
Exactly. They're outliers. They're the people who, for whatever reason, managed to crack the code.
But the video makes it sound like anyone can achieve this.
Right. That's the marketing. They want you to believe it's easy, that you can do it too.
So are they being misleading?
I wouldn't say they're necessarily being misleading. They're just presenting a very optimistic view of things.
Okay. So what are some potential challenges that they might be downplaying?
Well, for starters, relying heavily on AI-generated content raises concerns about originality and quality.
Right, because even with AI generating the videos, viewers can often tell when something feels generic or uninspired.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can hurt your channel in the long run.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've seen some AI stuff that felt a bit, I don't know, robotic. So even if it's easy to make, it might not be good enough to keep people watching. And if everyone's jumping on the same trends, wouldn't you just blend in with everyone else?
That's exactly it. The competition is huge, and the video doesn't really talk about that. If everyone's using the same AI and going after the same trending topics, it'll be even harder to get noticed. It's like trying to, shout over a crowd. You need something special to make people listen.
Like that extra something to stand out. Speaking of which, the video also talks about using other platforms like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook to share the same content. Good idea.
It's a great idea, actually. It's called content repurposing. It lets you reach more people by sharing your stuff on different platforms. Like, let's say you made this awesome video. Why just put it on YouTube? You could tweak it for TikTok, maybe make a cool graphic for Instagram, even write a blog post about it.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Makes sense to get the most out of it. But going back to the AI thing, I can see how it could be helpful, but I also worry about, losing that human element. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a real balancing act. Finding that sweet spot between using AI to be more efficient, but still keeping your own, authentic voice.
Yeah.
it's a challenge.
Instead of letting AI do everything, you're saying use it to make your own ideas better. Can you give an example? Like, how would that work?
Sure, let's say you love, I don't know, underwater photography.
Okay, cool.
You could use AI to find out what's trending, like what people are searching for, find some cool underwater pictures, maybe even help write a basic script. But it's your passion for it. Yeah, what it's like to actually be diving, your tips and stories. That's what will make people want to watch your video, not some generic AI stuff.
So it's about finding that middle ground. AI helps with the hard work, but you add what makes it interesting. And what about the whole get-rich-quick thing? Is that even real?
Well, the video focuses on quantity and consistency, which are important, but it forgets about the fact that building a successful whatever online presence takes time and work and lots of patience. There's no magic button.
Like any skill, you have to work at it to be good. And with AI changing all the time, you have to keep learning, right? To keep up.
Exactly. The internet changes so fast. What works today might not work tomorrow. It's like, surfing, you have to adjust all the time to stay on your board.
So even if you figure it out now, you can't just relax, you got to keep learning. That's something the video doesn't really talk about.
Speaking of things it doesn't mention, you said there are ethical things to think about too, right?
Right. This is something people often forget when they're excited about making money online. For example, using a lot of AI brings up the question of plagiarism. Like, if you're basically reusing other people's stuff, even if AI changes it some, is that okay? Ethically? Legally?
That's a good point. And what about the people making the original stuff? If everyone's just using AI to make similar content, wouldn't that hurt the people who are putting in the time to be creative?
Yeah, it's a concern. If AI content becomes the normal thing, it could mean less money and less attention for the creators who are, putting their heart into their work.
So it's not just about one person being successful, it's about the whole system.
Right. And then there's the whole question of, being genuine, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah, people want real stuff, not just information. People connect with other people, not with some algorithm. AI is helpful, but it shouldn't replace being human and being creative.
So even with all this AI, being real and connecting with people is still what matters. That makes me think, let's say someone's listening and thinking, okay, maybe AI isn't a magic way to get rich, but I still want to try it. What would you tell them?
I'd say go for it. Experiment, learn about the tools out there. There's tons of information available to get you started. But don't just depend on AI. Think of it as a partner, something that helps you be more creative, not something that does everything for you.
Use AI as a tool, not a crutch. Be a human who uses robots, not a robot. But what about standing out? Let's say you've tried AI and found something that works. How do you make yourself different when everyone else is doing the same thing?
That's the million-dollar question. And this is where it gets really interesting. AI can make decent stuff, but the real value is what you bring to it.
So it always comes back to that personal touch, right?
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean? If everyone's got these tools and tricks, what makes you, you?
It's about figuring out what makes you unique. Your personality, your skills, what you've experienced, your perspective, your voice, all those things that AI can't copy. That's what makes you stand out when everyone else is doing the same thing.
It's not just about the tech, it's about bringing your human magic to it. Still a bit hard to picture though. Do you have any examples of people using AI? Well, ethically, but not losing that human part.
Oh, absolutely. There are some really cool examples. I read about a documentary filmmaker who used AI to go through tons of old footage for a project about some historical thing.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work. How did AI help?
The AI could find patterns and connections in the footage that a person would probably miss, especially with that much to watch. It actually found some amazing stuff and helped make the story better.
So instead of replacing the filmmaker, it was like a super powered assistant. That's cool. Any other examples? I'm really into this idea of AI as a creative partner.
Another one I remember is a musician who used AI to make new sounds and melodies. Then they took those and put them into their own music, making this really unique sound.
So AI wasn't writing the whole song, more like giving the musician new things to play with. That's a great example of how AI can push creativity without taking over.
Exactly. And that's a super important difference. The AI is a tool, a partner, but the human is still the boss, the one who shapes the final product. It's about that combination of human creativity and what AI can do.
I love these examples. They make the future of AI seem a lot more exciting, not so scary. But what about being ethical? How do we make sure people are using AI the right way, especially with stuff like copyright and originality?
That's the big question, and there's no easy answer. Some creators are really open about using AI, even giving credit to the AI tools they use.
I like that, like saying, hey, this AI helped me make this, like a co-writer or something.
Exactly. It's a cool way to think about authorship now that AI is a thing.
It feels like we're making up the rules as we go. Exciting and kind of nerve-wracking. So where do we go from here? What's next for people making content in this crazy changing world?
I think the future is all about working with AI, but not losing what makes us human. We got to keep trying new things, pushing boundaries, and talking about how to use AI responsibly.
And remembering that, in the end, it's all about connecting with other people. It's about stories that mean something, that make you feel something. AI can help us do that, but it can't replace our heart or soul, you know?
Totally agree. The people who will be successful are the ones who can use their human skills with the power of AI to make something truly special and impactful.
Well said. So to wrap things up, I want to encourage everyone listening to check out AI, see what it can do. Don't be afraid to experiment and see how it can help you be more creative. But always remember to make your work your own, add your own special touch.
Because that's what really matters.
Perfect ending. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI and content creation. Keep learning, keep creating, and never forget how awesome your own human brain is. See you next time.